All right, time to do the 5 questions because it's important to answer these 5 questions, as you'll hear in a minute. So we'll kick up the music here with Ben and Justin, and get cruising a little bit here, Justin. So first of the 5 questions here today is going back and looking at the basketball stuff. What is more likely, the Badgers or Marquette winning a national championship in the next 5 years?
I think based on what I said earlier, you can know what direction I'm going with this one. I'd say Marquette just because of the athletes they have coming in. And Buzz Williams, Bo Ryan's a great coach. I think Buzz Williams has the opportunity to get to that level and dare I say, maybe pass him up. There's just a likability there, his ability to recruit. He adapts to his teams. He's able to get great players. I mean, you got Dwayne Wilson coming in, Deontay Burton. I don't know if you saw him in the dunk contest the other night, but wow. I mean, it's exciting, and I mean they're losing Lockett and Cadogan next year. I think Marquette could be the top team in the new Catholic 7 Big East, if you want to call it that. So I think next year they could have a shot at doing it.
Yeah, definitely competing there, and it's undoubtedly Marquette. I can't even believe I asked the question because it's absolutely Marquette. And unfortunately, I hate to say it because now here's the deal: I've realized this because, we evolve on these things. I no longer hate Marquette. And the reason I no longer hate Marquette, I don't know if you knew this before, but I hated Marquette, was because of Buzz Williams.
Really? Yeah.
When Tom Crean was there, I'm not a fan.
I'm not a Tom Crean fan. I'm a Marquette fan. I'm from the Milwaukee area. I grew up a Marquette fan more than a Wisconsin fan, so let me get that out in the clear on that one. But I've really never –
It's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear. I really never, saw Tom Crean and liked Tom Crean, but I think Buzz Williams has a lot of, as you would say, a Badger fan first. I think Buzz Williams is a hard guy not to like. Very hard guy not to like.
Actually, very hard not to like him, and classy guy. And here's the other thing, too, before we move on to the next question. I wanted to say this because, there was all this talk about, teams going after Buzz Williams, like Minnesota or UCLA or whoever. And my thought at the time was, is Marquette really a stepping stone job? Or can he turn into a more of a destination job? It seems to me that they can compete now in this new league every year in and year out. They're in a big city. They're in a major conference still, basketball-wise.
Yep.
They've made runs in the tournament before. They have a national championship, I guess, in our lifetime, or my lifetime. I would think it's a pretty good job, right?
And the other thing to look at too, Ben, and I know you want to move on here, but I just want to get this point out. You look at Brad Stevens at Butler, you look at Shaka Smart at VCU. I think what you're seeing is these guys know they can win in maybe not the top-level situations anymore. And Tom Crean let Marquette because Indiana's one of the top jobs in college basketball. Buzz Williams, the only way he leaves is Texas. I think that's the only job that he would take if that one would ever open up because that's a dream job for him and, with that one. But, Marquette, I saw somewhere Marquette spends the second most money out of anybody in the country on basketball. I mean, you have the backing there. He's financially paid well. It's competitive. Why leave? Why, when you have that backing and you can be the #1 product at your school, be competitive, be a winner, why would you leave? And that's, I think, what you're seeing. That's why Brad Stevens is still at Butler, Shaka Smart, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah, you don't have those. You don't have the bloodsucker that football is, which is an advantage for a basketball coach. It's the A game at the university, and better than anything, you have a bunch of students with clean teeth and fresh breath because of that dental school. So, I like that. I will rip on Marquette.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so next question or 5 questions. What will happen first? Speaking of football, here's I like this question. What will happen first? Badger football wins a national championship, or Badger basketball wins a national championship?
Football has less hurdles. You're only going to have to win 2 games in order to do that. We talked before about Wisconsin having to win 6 games in a row to win a basketball national championship. It's difficult to do. It's not easy. So I think the way that the divisions stack up, Wisconsin's got a shot to get to that Big Ten title game every year. That definitely helps them. So I'll go with football. I'm excited to see what Gary Anderson's going to do. Obviously, kind of an unknown commodity. I think he's already won the PR battle over Brett Bielema. I think that's apparent. But I think the task of football doing it is much easier than the task of basketball, although, okay, I'll ask you this. How come Badger basketball fans, for the most part, were content with Bo Ryan doing what he's doing, but Brett Bielema always got criticized because he never won the big one?
Yeah, because it comes down to likability flat out.
Exactly.
I was amazed, actually, and I was working in the radio here in Madison when Bielema was still defensive coordinator, and we didn't have like a buddy relationship or anything, but I interviewed him a lot, and I didn't mind him. I mean, I know he's incredibly arrogant and has a big ego, but before you go down that road too much, you have to have a big ego to be a coach. Period.
Very
or have any leadership position, you have to.
Look at Barry. Barry's likable, and he has probably the biggest ego out of anybody in the history of Wisconsin sports.
Huge ego. It's very big. No, I think is there a little factor about replacing Barry? Yeah, but that's not all of it. There's something about that guy, the abrasiveness factor, that people just didn't like. I was amazed on the day the news came down. There was some shock, but the people I was talking to, around my office or wherever, were happy. And I know the guy lost Rose Bowls, I get it, but he did lose Rose Bowls against better teams than Barry beat, for one. And he had consistently a better regular season record and stepped up the level of talent in the program over what Barry had over those years. That's absolutely true. And so, maybe it's his nightlife in Madison or the way he rubbed people who were important around town. I mean, I don't know all the details around that. But, yeah, people are so happy to see him gone. It's amazing. And Bo, if Bo Ryan wants to be super charming and put on a good show for fans, he's going to do that, and people like him. Plus, he's a state product and all that good stuff, and that matters to us, Midwestern blue-collar folk.
He doesn't have Minnesota tattooed on his leg. I mean, that's the thing with Bo. I think that tattoo for Brett really, that's why he never wore shorts.
Yeah, I know, right? It's very true. It's amazing. He could have hidden that thing forever. I don't know how people. Did he tell people, or was it just captured on photo? I don't remember. But apparently not a big no-no. But I agree. I think it's Badger football undoubtedly, because your big hurdle is Ohio State, which is a big hurdle. But then once you get by that, if you're the hot team and you're got the big offensive line and you've got the quarterback, especially a quarterback I don't know named Bart Houston, because that's the best name ever for a quarterback, or a four-star general. He can win. He can win a championship. I know I'm getting ahead of myself because he hasn't even won the starting spot yet. But how can you go wrong with that name? I'm just saying. So it could happen soon. Is what I'm saying. All right. Question number 3. What is more lame, Justin? The Brewers starting pitching or the Brewers bullpen?
I'll go starting pitching, because I think the bullpen struggles stem from the Brewers starting pitching inability to get deep into games. Hopefully this changes, and hopefully neither of them are lame, and they're both rock stars, so we can be talking about playoff baseball. But, I think the starting pitching is more critical than the bullpen, and they both have struggled this year, so I'll give the nod to the starters.
I'm going to say bullpen, because the bullpen hasn't gone one game. They have not had one game where they were successful, if you look at the entire 7 games of the season so far, right? Because, they almost give it up yesterday against the Cubs. They were horrendous against Arizona in pretty much all 3 games. Opening day, they were fine until Axford gave up the home run. So you've had 2 quality starts. So that's my standard, and I'm going starting pitching. So bullpen is more lame than starting pitching. Go Brewers. All right, question number 4. What's better between theme songs? And I'm sorry I don't have them ready to play for you, but One Shining Moment, which I stayed up and watched last night, or the Masters theme, because they both, every year, air on CBS within the span of 1 week, and they're both a couple of the most recognizable tunes in sports. So what's your nod?
Masters theme. I think there's more tradition there. I think One Shining Moment, they've changed different people to sing it and that. I like the video of One Shining Moment better than the actual song. So seeing all the moments of the thing. So I'm going to go with the Masters theme, and maybe because I'm more of a golf guy than a college hoops guy anyway. So I might be. All right,
yeah. Now, the Masters theme is serene. It's pleasant. I'm going to go One Shining Moment because of the video. I think they're interlinked. I don't think you can separate them.
I don't think you've ever cried during the Masters theme. You may have shed a tear or two during One Shining Moment. So
exactly. And I'm all for the quick editing CBS does. They put the whole thing together, and then they have 3 or 4 shots of the championship at the end. That's incredible.
That's good. That's good work.
Right down to the line. All right, and then question number 5 in our 5 questions today. Over/under question. Okay, the date is May 1st, so I guess past or before, more accurately. May 1st, John Axford is inserted back into the closer role for the Brewers.
I said May 15th last night. Actually got into this conversation, so I'm going to go over.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I'm going to say, May 15th was kind of the number I had in my head. It gives them about a month to figure things out, and I think that's what it is. So the John Henderson experiment will go away. They might try somebody else, but maybe they'll bring back K-Rod. Who knows? I doubt that, but I'll go with May 15th, and I'll say over.
All right. I am going to go over as well. I didn't pick a date, though. I'm going to go past you. Is this the Price is Right? I'm going to go past you.
Closest without going over wins the T-shirt.
Okay, yeah, that's about all I got. So T-shirt is later it'll be more. But yeah, over. I'm going to say June 1st to give another shot. I think he'll find a way to work it out. Although I don't know what the deal is with closers, how you can just lose it. I mean, I could understand if you lost it after 5 years, but most closers seem to only have 1 year or a year and a half. Look at Marmol with the Cubs. They hate him down there, right? He comes into the game. You know he's going to stink.
Here. Hold on 1 second. I'm digging through. This is kind of the, like the one of the beauties of live video here. I went through actually the other day. I was actually in my recycle bin. But I printed out the active closer list. Okay? John Axford among active closers is 6th in career saves among active guys, and he's been, 2.5 years? That's unbelievable. Mariano Rivera, obviously, on top of the list. Papelbon, Houston Street, who's injured, and a lot of his saves came about 10 years ago when he was in Colorado. Fernando Rodney, who's getting the job done, and then Chris Perez with Cleveland. And then John Axford's next. I mean, this list is cluttered with guys like Heath Bell and Matt Capps and Chad Cordero, Jonathan Broxton, Carlos Marmol's on that list ahead of Axford. But these are guys that are done already. The closing position in baseball, see if I can – I don't know if you can make out any of those names or anything. But the closing position in baseball is such a turnstile. I mean, there's really only been, in the last 10 years, probably 2-3 great ones that have gone on really long and really, careers. And I think that's where the frustration is. Look at the Brewers. Axford has been the most successful closer since Dan Plesac. And it's hard to believe that, but look at longevity. It's
hard to believe Dan Plesac was successful.
There you go.
That's the thing. That's amazing to me, and the thing that his velocity saved that the one appearance that had everybody really scared on last week. His velocity's been there. It was there opening day. It was there even in the 2-inning stint on Sunday. So he hasn't lost that, and even Marmol I don't think has lost velocity in Chicago, but he's been atrocious. And you remember watching him a couple of years ago? He was sick. Carlos Marmol. I mean, he was like you didn't want to face him forever. The guy was just unhittable at some points, and I don't know if Axford is ever unhittable, but I don't know how you lose it like that. It's obviously
he had 43 straight saves. I mean, 43 straight in a season, 49 overall. I mean, that's feared, and that was not too long ago. That was about a year ago that he was. That's in the midst of that, but it's amazing how he's just lost it. But I mean, look at some of the names. I mean, I don't know if I can go on that list here, but guys like Brad Lidge. Guys like Mark Wohlers. I mean, you can pick out more names of closers that have lost it than guys that have maintained it for over 3-4 years, easily.
That's the thing. I mean, I would love to blame Canada, but I can't. I mean, it's not even Canada's fault.
There's another one you can throw on that.
Can't blame the faith there. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. It is Canada's fault. They imported the Canadians into the game, and it's all over.
It's that metric.
Right. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were 60 meters away. No, that doesn't make any sense either. I'll figure it out a good analogy next time we talk. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and we'll do it again hopefully on Thursday here and have much more to talk about. I'll come up with the Masters theme song so we can reminisce.
So I can shed my tear. I can shed my tears.
Yeah. We'll do the classic Tiger of the Field talk. No, we won't. It's been done. Thanks again, Justin. We'll talk to you coming up here.